it was what God said. And he faced opposition, he faced turmoil, he faced heartache, but he knew this. God wouldn't let him go through it or endure it and not show himself true on the other side. You ever fought with somebody and argued with somebody about something you thought you knew? And you thought you knew it? And then, yeah, that's the first thing that happens is they prove you wrong. I done it. My son had to apologize 3 times last night, just so you know. Love him. He had to apologize 3 times because he thought he knew something. Sometimes the internet's good stuff. I mean, it just proved me right. He go, man, he gonna be extra mad today. This is what the Lord is doing. He's saying, if you just walk with me, I'll prove what I'm telling you is right. You live it out. You know how many people that will tell you that the Lord don't say that, but if the Lord has spoke that to you and guiding you to that, and you're faithful to follow, He's going to prove He's right. You don't got to show them up. Don't got to tell them any different. It will be proven on the other side. This is what David is trying to get us to understand. Look, I don't got to show you that I'm the next king. I don't got to demonstrate it. When Samuel come and poured oil on my head, I got a word. And no matter what, I have fought, I have ran, I've hidden, and along the way, I'm just going where God tells me to go. I'm just ending up in the places, and He showed His blessing and His favor on my life time and time again. And in that moment, I will be proven right. Why? Because He said it. And my God is not a man that He should lie. He will not, listen, He is God. And what He says, why would He send you on a journey and speak something over your life? I don't know who has a promise this morning, but He won't speak something over your life without not accomplishing it and a plan to get you to the place that it's accomplished. For His name's sake. God's not a liar. Well, He didn't do this or that. He's not a liar. Did you really be guided in? Did you really hear what He said? God will confirm His word over and over and over again to you and show Himself true. You ever question if you heard from God? Ask Him. He'll show it again if it was from Him. Amen? And David had been proving this and showing this, and he says this. He gets here and he says, He guides me along the right path for His name's sake. His name's sake. He ain't lost sight. This ain't really about David. It's still about God. This is what set David apart. See, we can't move on until we get this, because he's like, I didn't stand before Goliath so that I could get the king's daughter. And so I didn't do that so that I could be a crowned champion. I didn't do it so they'd march in the streets and say, David is Saul his thousands, but David is tens of thousands. I didn't do that. I done it for His name's sake. I wanted them to know who God was. That's it. That's it. Verse 4, go on. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for You are with me. Your rod and Your staff, they comfort me. Even though I walk through the darkest valley. Can you imagine? I know you can, for just a moment. Being in some of the darkest moments in your life where there's nowhere to turn. There's nowhere to go. And most of us in these moments are praying, God, get me out of it. Get me out. But He says, oh, fear no evil, for You are with me. Your rod and Your staff, they comfort me. I'm going to walk through these. I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to have these moments. But God, it's Your rod and it's Your staff that brings me comfort. Because I know that as long as it doesn't matter how dark it is. It don't matter how much the enemy's come against. It doesn't matter what's come against. I know this. There ain't nothing You're going to let come and take me out. There ain't nothing that's going to thwart me from getting to the other side to see Your promise fulfilled. That's what comforts me. Why? Because I heard a voice that said, I am your shepherd. And I was led by that voice into the very venture that I'm in. David could have stayed in the shepherd's field and been a shepherd his entire life. He didn't have to leave and go up. Daddy, they're not going to want me. He could have turned when he left the food and dropped up the provision and went right back home. He didn't have to stand out. But he made a choice. As long as God's guiding me, it doesn't matter what I walk through and what I venture in. Can you imagine standing before that army, before the king, your brothers, and all of them tearing you down, and you're the only one that says, who is he? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine to defy the armies of the living God? What a lonely, dark place to be. But you knew, because you decided, I'm going to be led. Are you with me now? Now we're at the place that we can start preaching. This is where I want to get. Verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You prepare a table, and I don't figure I'm going to get through all this, but you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. As an honored guest, you got to understand this. That as an honored guest, when someone would come to their home, when someone would come, the first thing they would do is take, and they had the meal prepared. It was all ready to go. You didn't come in and prepare the meal. It was ready. It was laid out before you. And they would set you at the place that it wasn't we call it the head of the table, but it was actually in the center of the table then, so that all eyes could be turned in on you because you were the honored guest. Understand this. As an honored guest, the provision is prepared. The provision is prepared. When they walked in, it's all laid out. It's all there. It's all been prepared. So that all they got to go in and is take part of what God has already planned and destined. All they've got to do is sit there and ready. And David got this. Because it didn't matter when he went into the king's house and the king tried to kill him. Jonathan was there to stand in the hedge long enough for him to get away. He ran and fled with no food, nowhere to go. And there was a priest, even though he wasn't supposed to, it was still there to supply. David had time and time again. Saul was delivered in his hands 2 different times. And David, the provision was always there for him to be successful and to succeed, to get through to the other side. The provision was already made before he ever got there. It had already been laid out. It was there for him. He didn't have to wonder, how am I going to get through? It may have been in his mind, but he didn't really have to wonder, because when he got there, it was already done. You ever watch one of them movies where the king's sitting at his table and all the other people are sitting out and all the chairs facing him? That's all I see in this moment. They prepared his dinner and they're bringing up plate after plate and his guests are out there. This is who you are in this moment. This is who you are. And the Lord's eyes are fixed on you. And He's watching you. And move to the place that He says, I've got something specifically for you. It's prepared for you. You can't look at somebody else and say, well, this is how they got through and this is how they made it. It's simply to the place that I know if I walk and I listen, but see, it comes to the place that I must answer the door and the call for what He has for me in every given moment, and listen to that voice, because it's the only place that I will see that where He started, I lack nothing. I lack nothing. I don't lack it. But most of us are so fixed on what we lack more than what we have. We get so fixed on, I need this in my life, and I need this in my life. I need this. If I had this, then I would be all right. I'd be happy. I'd be content. If I just had a little more money, if I just had a better job, if I had a better wife, if I had a better friend. Come on, somebody. I'm just being real. If I had a bigger house, if I had a littler house, if I had less payments, it's always something. If I had, instead of saying, this is where I'm at. Look, oh, glory to God. You may be in debt up to your eyeballs today. And you can sit there all day and say, if I had more money, if I wouldn't have done this or wouldn't have done that, that ain't going to change nothing. The only thing is being led. How can I move out of this? How can you provide in this moment? Years ago, we had a big house, and it was a big payment because it was a big house. And so when stuff happened, because stuff happens, you know, you got 3 kids that punch holes through the door, and they tear everything up, and your lawnmower, they climb on it, and well, anyway, you got me. And you got 3 kids that you love, and so they want, and they want, and they want, and they don't want, they don't want a backpack. I don't even know what's so special about it, but they want a Nike Elite backpack. What is that? Yeah. And it's like, what's it? I went to Walmart, and I'll get you a little Smurfs backpack, and you'll be just as cool as you are with a Nike backpack. I don't know what your problem is. Carries the same books, right? Come on, somebody. But they want. And so your check, because you know what your house payment is, it's already done every week, and it's just set aside. You follow me? And then they want, and you're like, and then so you do what most people do, especially when you're not walking with the Lord. That little credit card, that little plastic thing that they'll send you in the mail, that they just say, you are pre-approved, and you're like, woo, I'm doing good. And they're like, yeah, you are. You keep spending the money. Come on, send me that check, because we're making dime off you. Come on. Problem is, it ain't dimes. It's some things that fold, you know. And so I remember getting to the place that there's no money in the account, and bills are due. You've been there. Doctors are calling, the hospitals love to call you, and we sent you to a credit agency, and we're going to sue you, and you know what I'm saying. We've talked about this before, and all that bad stuff. You know, they're not going to do nothing because, well, they're just trying to scare you. And at the end of the day, you finally get right with the Lord, and you're going, Lord, I'm in all this debt, and I'm up to my eyeballs, and you need to get rid of the debt. And the Lord's going, I can't get rid of the debt, but I can guide you out of it. I can take you through. See, dark valleys where you don't have the answer and you don't know where to turn to. I remember one time, it was right after I got saved, and I remember an evangelist coming through, and the evangelist said, he goes, you know, I do financial counseling all the time, and first thing I walk in, they walk in my office and they say, I need help, and I'm like, are you faithful in your tithes? And he goes, and they're like, no. He says, all right, see, I can't help you. And I thought that was harsh until I got to the place that I learned to heed to God's voice. And he says, if you give me what's mine, this ain't a tithing message. What I'm trying to get you to understand is the place that if we listen to God's voice and let Him guide us, He will guide us through them dark areas and them dark valleys of our lives. And I watched God take us and move us out of a place. Made less money, mind you. I quit my job and took a pastorate a long ways away and spent more on gas than I was making. And God guided me out. What changed? To the place that I said, God, I'm just surrendering, heeding to your voice and following you. Dark valleys. I don't know who you are this morning, health issues, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through. Dark valley. But He says, I will guide you out. I'm not going to pull you out, because most of us are probably, just get me out of this mess. And He's like, no, because this is for my name's sake. Unless you learn to trust me, you'll never see me on the other side. Because in that dark place, you know that there's only one with the light, and there's only one way out, and there's only one you can turn to. There ain't nobody else that can save you. Too many of you, that you got something you keep falling back on. I was talking to somebody